Sketches of life. Mr. Daniels and the negotiation. Interior boardroom. Evening. Sidney Daniels, the tall, strapping company CEO, is sitting at the head of a large conference room table with a handful of papers in front of him. Gina Cortland, a businesswoman in her 30s, is seated on one of the middle seats on the side of the table. Gina is extremely attractive and wearing a very tight-fitting suit. She's looking over a couple of things at her workspace. Then she turns to Mr. Daniels. Her body language is open, inviting, eager and suggestive. Mr. Daniels, the numbers all add up. I think this is a great deal for your company. I know the numbers look great, but the market for this product is shrinking. Our analysis differs on that point, but isn't there something else we can do to work things out? Gina gets up and walks to the edge of the table and stands directly in front of him. I love your suit. You smell terrific. Thank you. Unfortunately, the only way we're getting a deal done today is at $3 million. That's way too low. If you agree to $5 million, I can make it worth your while. What did you have in mind? Everything is on the table. Everything. That's good to know. Why don't you take your tie off? Gina says. She reaches towards him and takes hold of his tie, slowly moving her fingers up towards the knot. You can take my tie off, since you've already gotten started. I'll be honest with you, Sidney. Call me Mr. Daniels. Mr. Daniels, I really need to get this deal made. I have a promotion riding on it, and I can't go back to my bosses with another delay. When I say everything is on the table, I mean that I'm on the table too. Well, yes, I was pretty sure that's what you were referring to when you said everything a second time. Would you like me to get on the table right now? I think I would. Gina seductively climbs onto the table. She's on all fours, staring him down. So what do you say, big boy? $5 million is a fair price. 3 is way too low for what you're getting. Don't you think it's just a little too low? Gina is lowering her head as she says this. She now looks like a cat with her rear end in the air. Her head is down near Mr. Daniels' lap, dangerously close. First, call me Mr. Daniels. Second, look at me when you're talking to me. Gina looks up, kind of surprised. I'm sorry, Mr. Daniels. I wasn't sure how you liked it. But how am I going to be able to look you in the eye when I'm busy taking off your pants? Have a seat for a second, would you? The mood dims as Daniels gets up and walks over to a counter and grabs a remote control that operates the slide projector. He presses a button and the slide opens on a white wall. It's a picture of Gina with a seductive smile. It's a close-up of her face. The rest of her body is out of frame. At this time, Gina is climbing down from the table and sitting in Daniel's chair. Sit in a different chair. Gina looks up at him in disbelief, then sees he's serious and waiting. She moves to the next chair over. I have an offer for you, Ms. Cortland. You can call me Gina. Gina, if you make love to me, you'll get your $5 million. Gina smiles. Daniels presses the button again. The slide now says Deal Research Investigation Results, Landers Corporation and Spandrel Telecom. But here's the catch. This slide projector is going to show a series of photographs. Photographs? What photographs? Gina asks. That's for you to find out. If you're comfortable with what we've found, one night with me is the only price you'll have to pay to get this deal done. What if I change my mind? Gina asks. I'm going to give you 3 options. First, we get the deal done for $5 million. We spend the night together, and if I pay this cost, I keep these photographs. Second, we spend no extra time together, and you get the deal for $2 million. In exchange for this discount, you get the photographs, and they will never see the light of day. The third option, you can walk away right now with no deal. But whatever you found could destroy my career, and maybe Lander's too. You have no idea what we found. If I sleep with you, that's worth those photos. Daniels walks over to the chair that she's sitting in and stands directly over her. There's no middle ground except walking out of here with no deal. Gina looks up at him like a frightened little girl. I can't take that risk, and I'm not interested in sleeping with you anymore. $2 million? $2 million? You're a pig. Welcome to the big leagues, honey, Daniel says. You lost this one, but you'll figure it out. She smiles at him. They both sign the contract. Daniels retrieves the flash drive from the projector and hands it over to her. She shakes his hand and he escorts her to the door. He stops her before opening it. Did you really want to throw yourself at me? Until you started dealing from the bottom of the deck, of course I did. Well, that's where all the best cards are waiting. Gina smiles again and he opens the door. They say their goodbyes and Gina leaves. When she's gone, he shuts the door and screams to himself. Son of a bitch! A side door opens and a VP enters. How'd it go? She was ready to go, I tell you. Ready and willing. I had her on that table. Did it work? The VP asked. Lobster Dog always works on floozies. Just one time, one effing time, I would love it if they would come in here and play to win. Don't you think it's underhanded to prey on their insecurities? The VP asks. That's why it works, Daniel says. Cut 2. Interior apartment, night. Gina is back at her place getting ready for bed, wearing pajamas. She's finishing off a glass of wine. She puts the flash drive into her computer and pulls up files on her screen. The image viewer on her computer shows one photo after another of dogs wearing lobster outfits. As she clicks through them, she begins to cry. Fade out. Recorded June 10th, 2013.